Hi, Marlene. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Michelle. It's so nice to be with you.
You too. You're one of my favorite Heart of the Matter people. Well, there's not, I think there's a lot of Heart of the Matter people. All the Heart of the Matter people are my favorite people.
Exactly.
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 So, you want to tell everybody a little bit about you, a little bit about Heart of the Matter,
Sure.
and what sets your heart on fire?
All right. Well, that's a lot.
I know, right?
All
That is a
right.
lot.
All right. All in 30 seconds or less. Here we
Yeah.
go. Well, hi, everybody who's ever watching. It's really lovely to be able to be with you and share these meditation tools with whoever we can. And I'm delighted that Michelle has asked us to do that. So a little bit about me. Let's see, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm an educator for a very long time.
Yeah.
I won't say how many years because that will reveal my age, and I know I don't like it. But yes, no, I'm thrilled to be here. And I've been using these meditation practices for the last 14 years on a pretty regular basis. And, Michelle asked, what sets my heart on fire? I think the ability to sort of journey within and get into a different state of mind or a different state of being, all in a meditation that takes place in 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even 30 minutes, is really something that does set my heart on fire. And being able to share these tools with others truly sets my heart on fire, because it's an amazing way to contribute to people.
It is. And aren't you in the leadership program that's running with Heart of the Matter right now? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes. We've had a
Okay.
leadership program for, I want to say, since 2016. So coming up on 6 years, really. And
Cool.
so I've been a part of that since its onset. And that has really given me the ability to lead meditation for people. For 3 consecutive summers, I led meditation for Brevard Public Schools employees, as a way to, I know we're going to be talking about building resiliency, but as a way to
Mhm.
sort of give to yourself and building resiliency. I've led to lots of groups of people in lots of different places. And then I take part in the meditation retreats that we offer. And so I've been staffing those now for probably 12 years.
Yeah, I love that. So, how would you describe what Heart of the Matter does or what it is? How would you describe that group?
Great question. So heart of the matter transformation is really, it's exactly that. It's exactly what our title is. We are a group of people that are committed to people's transformation, their
Mhm.
personal journey through transformation, and getting to the heart of the matter of who they are.
Awesome. Nice. Good job. You get a gold star for that description.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, we're this new series is a leadership mindset series, and the resilience is, man, it's coming up for people right and left all over the place. Whether they're leading people, they're trying to become resilient, they're becoming resilient in their own teams or in their life, or with their families. There's a lot of different ways that this can materialize.
Hmm.
Um, what does resilience mean to you, Marlene? And I'll share what it means to me, but what does it mean to you first?
So, resiliency, it's sort of like I could answer that in sort of two different contexts, so like,
Okay.
the dictionary version, or I think the version that we use as educators is really sort of the ability to bounce back. The
That's what you
ability,
were in my head. That's what I was going to say.
so the ability to meet adversity and bounce back. So that's sort of like the dictionary version. And as an
Mhm.
educational trainer, that's probably what I'd say, right?
Okay.
Now,
Yep.
shifting that context to sort of your transformational journey, For
Okay.
me, resiliency means the ability to be present with people and be calm inside of myself and think calmly to help others or be with others, no matter what's coming at me.
Nice. Nice. And so I know why this was created. Like, can you share how this materialized and how, I mean, because it was kind of, it's an interesting story, I think.
It's a really good story, actually, and you are at the core of that story. So for those of you that are watching, you know that Michelle is an amazing connector of people.
Thank you.
And yes, it is a great skill and so important, really. So Michelle and Piper Makepeace, who is one of the founders of Heart of the Matter Transformation, got to talking, and Michelle shared some ideas. And one of them was for us to start doing Heart of the Matter, do lunch and learns with different groups of organizations to get these tools into the hands of people. And so the first group that we did one of the first groups that we did a lunch and learn for was a group of healthcare providers and healthcare providers from sort of all walks of life, right? So, you know, in the emergency room, nurses, doctors, CNAs, you know, all kinds of healthcare professionals. And so when the person that Michelle connected us with, when we talked with Megan, she was really interested in us developing a resiliency toolkit. Like, what can we hand people that will help them get through these really challenging times? And so we had no idea what it was going to look like. And Piper and I just got to work and brainstormed and, you know, looked at the tools that we have, sort of the meditative tools that we use, that how could these be helpful to people?
Right.
So there it is. That's how we developed this resiliency toolkit.
I love how that I mean, because that was organic. It came out of just an ask, where can I give something to someone? So if someone said, hey, I want to give this to somebody so that they have what they need to actually build resilience. And you're like, all right, let me dig in. Let's see. And so did this come first? So I have two things on screen. I've got the Heart of the Matter toolkit, the resiliency toolkit, that was a PDF, and then the web portion came later. Is that the order?
Yes. So Piper and I really worked on this handout, right, that you're looking at now. So we worked on this, like, what do we want to have included? What do we want people to have access to? So we looked at what tools would be most important. So the first thing that you'll see is the Getting Started series, right? So, you know, our style of meditation, as you know, Michelle, is different than, you know, when people think about meditation, they might think about sitting quietly and trying to quiet their mind. And our meditation practice is different. And it incorporates music, and it incorporates getting in touch with your emotional body. It incorporates releasing emotions, and then calming, and then a thinking period. So we want people to sort of get oriented first. So we included 4 short meditations that explain the tools that are part of our practice.
Nice.
And then we really wanted to look at, okay, what do people need in their everyday life? And especially, you know, we were looking at the healthcare industry, but this could be for any industry, right? So we looked at, what do people need in their everyday life? So we started with, well, people need to be able to manage stress and challenging emotions. I mean, that is the number one thing.
That is the number one thing, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the anxiety that gets, I mean, gets so much way, gets in everybody's way, rather.
Yes. So we went through our app, so we can show you that later too on the website. Awesome. We have a meditation app that you can download for free. It's downloadable on iPhones, but not on Android yet. But so we
know,
wanted.
I don't have it on mine.
I know. It's coming.
Soon.
It's coming. It's not
soon.
there yet, but it's coming. Yeah. So we wanted people to have access to, okay, what are the important meditations that we can include even on just our website that people will have access to if they, in the event they cannot download the app. So we went through our app and we picked out, and the app has like hundreds of meditations if you have a subscription to it. So we went through the app and we really picked out, what do we think those important meditations are for people? So for managing stress and challenging emotions, we have a meditation called Moving Through Anxiety. We have another one called Stress Release. And then we've got some about moving intense emotions. You know, there's a, one of my favorites is, what do we do with the rage? Because, you know, when we went through this time period of the shutdown with the pandemic, people were full of rage, you know, and there was a lot going on in our country at the same time, you know, so there was the pandemic, and then there were riots in different parts of the country, and, you know, people are full of rage. What do you do with that so that it doesn't spill out onto the people in your life?
Well, and I mean, a lot of us are taught to just push it down or just ignore it or don't feel that way. And so, you know, we're not, I know historically I wasn't used to processing it. So yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
And we also know that when we push it down, it comes out in other ways.
Correct.
Right. You know,
oozes out, maybe, right?
Your spouse turns off the bathroom light and you're still in there, and, you know,
and you lose your mind, right?
How can you turn off the light?
What is wrong with you? Right. I just, sorry.
Right. And it had nothing to do with the light, right? There's just stuff in there that needs to be released. So, that's why we picked those types of meditations. And then, you know, how do we open up our heart quickly, right? How do we just move through something? How do we make space inside? So we picked a couple of meditations for that. And then, you know, you'll see there's, you know, we started thinking about, you know, people want to think clearly, right? They need to get information. So we have a few meditations that will help you become more aware of your thought process, or sorting through your thoughts, or getting information, you know, going to that higher part of yourself, you know, your higher self or a higher power, whatever that is for you, so that you can think clearly. And then, of course, we know that, you know, everybody has conflicts with other people.
No, it's not so. You're lying.
I think it's just this human experience, right? And so we have a meditation on triggers, and then how to find calm within the conflict. Because sometimes we just have to learn to have the conflict. It's happening, but at the same time, we still have to be calm and we have to be present. So how does that happen?
Yeah. Nice.
And then, of course, we know we've got to take care of ourselves. So we have a few meditations for relaxing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Wow. I mean, you guys really put a lot of time and effort and thought into this.
We did. And then there's the conscious living tools. You know, we talk about designing a morning program. It's not a very long meditation, but it's really like, you know, when you think about how do you want to set the tone for your day? What does your morning look like? You know, is your morning rushing to get out the door, and, you know, your coffee spilling out of the cup on the way out the door, trying to get the car, and get the kids off to school, and all of that's things, you know, for those of us that work remotely, you know, we have a commute that might have some pet traffic, but other than that, you know, but really, I mean, I have a morning program, and it took me a long time to find the right morning program, but you know, I walk in the morning, I walk the dogs with my husband, and my husband and I come back and we do 20 minutes or 30 minutes of yoga. And then I meditate, you know, after my husband and my daughter leave the house, that's my time to meditate. That's
nice to have the house to yourself, right? You're like,
that's an excellent part, I have to say. And before that, though, I was getting up super early, you know, when I was working for the school system, and I had to be at work at 7:30, which means I was out the door at 7:00. That I got up at 5 and I did my
Yeah.
morning program, and that's when I meditated. And sometimes I meditated in the bathroom.
Right.
I mean, not using the bathroom. I just needed a private space, and the bathroom was the private
and that was
space.
it, because you can lock the door and nobody's pestering you there.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Funny.
and then some other important tools for meditation. So we've got those available. We also have a bunch of blog articles, which are really, really helpful. And so we put those on the Resiliency Toolkit as well.
Wow.
So we just wanted to give people as many tools as they want to use.
And so then this was what was created first, and then that's then how this actually was generated.
Right.
And so what you just walked us through is all the links to get to, like, the getting started and the everyday. And so all this is open and free to people if they need help building their resilience.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Nice. So, okay, there's a ton here. And there's so much here. What are some of your favorites?
So if you scroll down a little bit more, I'll show you. I love sort of, if you actually scroll up just a little bit.
Oh, nope, okay. Sorry.
Back up.
Sorry.
Yeah, so the relaxing portion, number 6.
Did I go too far down?
You're okay. Yeah, go. Okay. Come back
down. All right. I'm making everybody dizzy.
That's all right. We're good.
Okay.
So, there's I love these short little vignettes of sort of relaxing the effort. When you, finding a flow inside of yourself, when you think about sort of like, I don't know how it is for you, Michelle, but when my mind's just going, I wake up in the morning with an agenda. Right. And so, I know what I have to do, and I'm going to push through the day, and I'm going to get that crap done. Right.
Right.
And that's not how I want to be in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to be able to come to my day with a sense of calm and peace internally. Mm-hmm. And that takes something for me to get there. So this sort of relax the effort, that's one of my favorites.
Okay. So that first one, find the flow, relax the effort, is one of your all-time favorites based on what you just described.
And even rejuvenate and relax into yourself. That's a wonderful thing to do at night.
And what's the difference between those two? So if you tie it to resilience, what's the difference to those, and how does that create resilience for you?
Well, that's a great question. And I'd have to go back and listen to both of them to tell you the real difference. So I'm not going to make something up, but the rejuvenate and relax into yourself, for me, is about really being inside of my true qualities, being inside of sort of who I am. Right.
Got it.
And for me, the finding the flow, relaxing the effort, that helps me deal with whatever anxiety, that little voice that's in the back of your head that's saying, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't get it done. That helps me sort of relax, like all of the trying to be perfect.
That reminds me of Michael Singer's, in his book, Untethered Soul, he talks about the roommate in your head. That's what that reminds me of. So that helps you minimize that. And then, from a resilience perspective, how does that build resilience in your life, in your work, and what you do day to day?
Well, for me, like if I'm looking at resiliency in the context of being calm and present, that helps me get back connected to my heart, get back to connected to the truer part of myself.
Got it. And so then it helps you show up how you want to show up, how you're meant to show up. And you're helping yourself, but you're also helping others. And if you're not in that space, then you're not going to be of any help to anybody else or yourself. Right. Am I articulating that right?
Yes. And I will suffer.
Okay.
The person that
others might too.
Right. But the person that suffers the most is me. right? Because I'm very skilled in the, sort of personality wise, I'm very skilled in the fake it till you make it genre,
Okay. Sure.
which
Sure.
is something I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
I don't ever
Yeah.
want to fake it till I make it anymore.
Yeah.
I want to be in that most precious part of myself.
Nice. I love this. So are there other pieces in this toolkit that you like?
Yes. Scroll back up. I think it's 3.
Okay.
Yes. So this whole section to open up quickly, one song to let go or dance it out or making space. I know, Michelle, you're smiling because I know you know.
I know. I love this. I love these.
But it's really like when you think about it, if you just dance to one song in the morning, it changes everything. Or even in the middle of the day, like, you've had computer glitches and you've had technology glitches and, a meeting that you thought was going to happen tomorrow is actually happening today and you weren't really so ready for that. It's like, how do you get back connected? How do you make some space inside of yourself? Dance full out to one song.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's just that 6 minutes, that first one, it's 6 minutes. You can find 6 minutes, right? Hopefully we can find 6 minutes.
Right. I mean, and listen, you can dance to Taylor Swift, Shake It Off for 3 minutes.
Right. Whatever. Right. That's true. Right.
And that when you put on sort of some happy music and you move your body, there's all kinds of chemical things that happen. But there's also, you're making space internally and you're going out of here into here. So you're going out of your head into your heart. And that always makes space to be more present.
Well, and I think, where we started this conversation was the ability to bounce back, right, from the most technical or dictionary term. And if we use that in the context of what you just said, you have something flying at you and your day is just turning into chaos for whatever reason, unexpected meeting or whatever. And then you're rattled. You may be rattled. Instead of breaking and losing your mind, you could go in here, click on the one song to let go and find 6 minutes, or even on your phone, something that you love, 3 minutes, 6 minutes to bounce back to sort of come back to center. Is that a good example?
It's a great example. And I would even just take it, not so, take it sort of that bounce back to center. I'd even take it just a little deeper.
Sure. Right? Go ahead.
Get into that more, how can I say, I don't want to say just deeper place inside yourself, but more connected.
Yeah, I think, and maybe it's finding your center, and if some people use the term grounding, I don't know, maybe that might be woo woo for some people, but and then maybe getting out of your heart, getting out of your head into your heart. I mean, those are probably all very valid terms, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then one more thing I'll point out to you, if you go back up to the Let's Get Started series, that number 1.
Yep. Okay.
One of the things that you'll see, there's a 2-minute towel purpose and instruction.
Yep.
So I don't have a towel with me tonight, but one of the ways that you can just make space inside yourself, like when you're sort of feeling chaotic and going a little crazy inside of yourself, is you can actually scream into a towel. And just in order to move out the anxiety or move out the chaos, it's just, if you're at work and you don't have a private place to do that, I used to go in the bathroom stall and do the silent scream.
Right. Yeah.
So I would literally go in the bathroom and like, and you can see like my whole body's in it. It's not coming out of my throat the way I would normally do that.
Right.
But, it just makes space, and, there's so many times, I think we all go through this in life, where you just want to scream.
For sure. And I think that I have shared this one with, because I know Piper has a video on that specifically, and I've shared the video. But there are some people that say, where has this been all my life? Like, well, I have had no knowledge that this tool existed. And then I'll have other people go, yeah, that's weird. I'm not feeling that. So it does. I think it just, and then maybe some people in the middle, but it certainly is something to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
To, like you said, to get things moving. And I think some of the weirdness comes in because we're taught to just stuff it, stuff it. So
That's exactly right.
it feels with little kids. I love telling this, with little kids on the playground, one pushes the other one, and a natural result would either be screaming, the kid screaming, or crying. I mean, that's pretty typical. Where did we lose that? I know sometime along our journey, the society has trained us to, no, that's not an appropriate response. Okay, well, maybe screaming in a meeting is not an appropriate response, but it would be good to get it out later. And that's what this does, I think.
Can you imagine in a boardroom where everybody had this tool, right? Everybody
I know.
had this tool and it was okay. And as a leader, you've introduced something new that
Right.
is going to freak out your top management group, right?
Truly.
So, and everybody has a towel.
That's
Like,
right.
here, you know what? We're going to put on one song.
Exercise.
We're going to put on one song so we can sort of get out of our heads, right? And some emotion. And we're going to dance it out, or we're going to scream into a towel, and then we're going to come back with a clearer mind, a clearer heart, a clearer being.
Exactly. I don't know. I would love to test that actually in the workplace. Let's do this in the boardroom, guys. Right? Oh, so I mean, if leaders are just beginning to build resilience, how would you recommend that they go about it? So that's if they're new in the leadership space. So what we find is there's a lot of gals and some guys, I think, but more of the gals that struggle with their own self-worth and their confidence. They're rattled in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're not sure-footed or what to do next. And so what would you recommend if they're just like, I don't know how to start?
So that's a really great question. So, it a lot of it depends on sort of the person's desire, right? So what kind of leader do I want to be? Well, I want to be a leader that's present and really truly able to listen to people, right? So start with that let's get started area. Start with getting started, so you can learn the tools of this particular meditation. And then I would say pick one or two meditations that sound interesting to you.
Nice.
Maybe
curious.
Yeah. Or start with the articles. So if you scroll all the way down, there's
go all the way down.
Articles. So start with the articles. What is interesting to you? So, for me, probably it would be managing emotions, listening deeply to others, and letting go of negativity.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
And that letting go of negativity isn't just about your negative feelings towards others. It's about letting go of negativity towards yourself.
Right. Like, I'm not worthy, or I'm not a good leader, or I don't know how to be a leader. Who's going to follow me? Those types of things, potentially.
Right. Right. And, you sort of can't give what you don't have. So if you're not, as a leader, I think it's really important as a leader to be self-reflective, right? Because as a leader, you have to be willing to be vulnerable and go through the changes that you have to go through in order to lead your team.
That's fantastic.
Right?
That's a mic drop moment, Marlene.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Good job, gold star. You get a cookie too.
I'll take it. Yeah, but it's if you if you really want to lead your team from sort of a heart-centered, present, thoughtful place, then you've got to do your own work.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You know, you've got to do that work of journeying within and self-reflection. And there's lots of leaders that are successful that don't do that.
Sure.
You know, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, there aren't, but I think that, I mean, just even watching my husband who runs an organization, you know, he's constantly self-reflecting on what he does and what he said. And was I coming from a true place and an honest place versus just wanting to get done what I want to get done? And, you know, those are two very different feelings internally, and people feel that.
Well, and I also think, I mean, you can not practice resilience and not necessarily lead from a place of being centered and present and doing your own work. However, when that happens, I believe you're less likely to influence their behavior. And if you're wanting to lead people in a direction, knowing where you are centered and understanding where they're coming from, if you're not paying attention to any of that, or you're off of your game, you're not going to be able to help them in any way, and may not necessarily follow you.
Right. That's exactly right.
Anything else that you think we didn't share that we could share? This is fantastic. This is a super summary, and I'm thrilled to share this with others, for those that are watching or going to watch it later. Anything else that you want to add?
I think I would just end with this, you know, in terms of thinking about resiliency for anybody that's listening. This is really how I describe it for myself. And I said this earlier, but I want to just sort of reiterate it. Resiliency to me is really that precious place inside of myself where I know I can be calm in the face of challenges.
I love that. And I'm trying to get out of my screen now, and I can't. Like, I don't even know how to get back to where I was. That's the danger of doing full screen, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness. Like, I don't even know how to stop my screen now. How do I do that? Now I'm really stumped. And I can't get out to actually stand, right? Oh my goodness, this is funny. Let's see. I don't even know. Stop. Escape. This is learning at its finest.
Yeah, I haven't presented on LinkedIn yet before, so I can't even.
You can't even help me. So what's funny is that I'm trying. I can see the stop sharing, and I can't get to that tab. Where is it? Here. Oh, this is a problem. I don't know. How do we get out? I don't even know how to end. Isn't that funny? I'm like, how do I get out of here?
Can you press escape?
Yeah, I'm going to task manager. There we go. Here we go. So the challenge, I was in full screen. So now I can stop sharing. That was fun.
There we go. Perfect.
Learning at its finest, right? Imperfect action. I'm like, here, I'm just going to start pushing buttons here.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
I know. Thank you for being patient with that. So If anybody gets to the end of this, you're going to be like, what is happening over here?
Being calm in the face of adversity, right there.
I'm like, yeah,
there's your resiliency.
Let me keep poking around. That was actually a good suggestion. Thank you for the help there. Like, I can't get out of here. So funny.
Michelle, thank
Oh,
you
good
so much
stuff.
for inviting me to talk about this. I think
Yeah,
this is
this is
just
good.
really
This is
great.
good. So I'll share. I'm gonna actually let me make sure I put the link in here. Let me find it. So copy that, and that way that'll go into all the places. So people have that. So now that's going to all the places. I'll go back and look and make sure, and I'll
Okay,
send you the recording too, so we can
great.
repurpose it. Uh yeah, great information. This is good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the time. I really
Yes,
appreciate you doing this tonight.
absolutely. Me too. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, and you have a fantastic night.
All right, you too, Michelle.
All right, bye,
Bye.
my
Bye,
dear. See you
everyone.
later. Bye.